Hi, Wayne here again with another video. In this video, I want to talk about the 7 churches which are mentioned in Revelation 2 and Revelation 3. So on my website, I have an article about the 7 churches of Revelation 2 and Revelation 3, and I go over what I believe they represent and their relevance to us. So there's a lot of theories out there about the 7 churches. One of the most popular theories about the 7 churches is that they represent 7 different periods in church history. I'm not a believer in that type of theory because breaking down the history of the church into 7 periods is really subjective to me. It's like, how do you decide which period is the start, which period is the end, and then you're making subjective evaluations of what is considered relatively good and what is relatively bad. So that's very, very subjective in my mind. So we'll go down here in this article and we'll look at the 7 churches. What you'll notice is that 7 churches have different characteristics. Like Philadelphia is a really, really good church, and Sardis is a spiritually dead church. Laodicea is a wishy-washy church, and they're just different. They have their unique characteristics. I believe that these 7 churches represent 7 different types of churches that have existed throughout history. So you take all the churches in the world and you can basically put them into one of these 7 categories. And then they existed throughout history. In Christ's time, they existed several hundred years ago, they exist now, and they're going to exist again in the future. And so that's what I believe the relevance of the 7 churches are. What is striking about all the 7 churches is that Christ, in each church's assessment, at the end, he says, "He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches." So it's a common message to all the churches. And he basically promises each church, people from each type of church, a reward for them who overcome. So it doesn't matter which background you come from those churches, you all have an opportunity to get a reward. So if you're from Sardis, a dead church, you're from Philadelphia, a very godly church, it does not matter. You all have an opportunity to have a reward. So that's what I believe the importance of the 7 churches are. I don't believe the 7 churches represent 7 different periods of church history. Instead, they reflect 7 different types of churches that existed throughout history and will exist in the future, including the end times. So with that, I hope you found this video insightful. Take care. I'll see you again soon.